Welcome to Jas Anime Commentary. Hey guys, I'm Jas, a Japanese anime fan. In this channel, I share the cultural details and historical background of my favorite anime that most people outside Japan might miss. I hope this will help make your anime experience richer and more fun. By the way, this video includes some spoilers, so please be careful. Today we're looking at Episode 2 of the Elusive Samurai, The Gentle Uncle. Here's a quick recap. So Tokiyuki's older brother Kunitoki is trying to escape from the enemy, but then he gets betrayed by his uncle Uncle Godaiin and executed. After that, Godaiin comes after Tokiyuki to catch him, but Tokiyuki manages to defeat Godaiin with the help of 3 new allies introduced by Yorishige. For me, I was shocked and honestly disgusted by Godaiin. But at the same time, this episode was packed with funny, almost playful scenes. And today, I'll focus on some of the cultural details and translation differences that make episode 2 extra interesting. When Tokiyuki first meets Kojiro and Ayako, his new allies, they are playing what's called a game of dice from a distant future. This is actually a parody of Momotaro Dentetsu, a digital board game that's huge in Japan. It's basically a board game on a map of Japan. Each space is a train station, and you can buy local goods or companies. And the winner isn't whoever reaches the goal first, but whoever ends up the richest. In this scene, Kojiro buys Shimosa's bean fields. Now, Shimosa is part of Chiba Prefecture, and is famous for peanuts, so that's the joke. But in the 14th century, peanuts weren't even in Japan, so it's deliberately meta. And then there's the God of Poverty, a character who shows up to wreck things. In the middle of the game, he transforms into an even worse version called King God of Poverty, who wipes out your money, ruins your properties, or even sidelines your allies. So when the anime turns the emperor into the emperor god of poverty, it comes off as a pretty savage joke. And it's not that far from reality, because the emperor at that time really did cause messy politics. Later, when Tokiyuki fights his uncle Uncle Godaiin, he appears as this huge red demon surrounded by dice. On screen, the subtitle flashes, Nambokucho Game of Tag, Demon of Dice Uncle Godaiin. It looks simple, but there's more behind it. In Japanese, a game of tag is called Onigoko. Oni means demon, and Goko means pretend play. So it's literally pretend play of demons. That's why in Japan, the one who chases in tag is called the demon. So in this scene, Tokiyuki is basically playing tag against his uncle who's become a demon, not just in appearance but in spirit. He's the kind of guy who'd even betray his own family just to get ahead. And even the dice carry extra meaning. His demon name is Sai no Oni in Japanese, and the word Sai means dice. There's even a moment where Godaiin stacks them up. Dice in general already symbolize gambling and chance, so it fits him well. But you might have wondered, why is he stacking them? Dice are meant to be rolled, not stacked. If you notice that detail, you've got a sharp eye. This actually reminds Japanese viewers of Sai no Kawara. This is a Buddhist image of hell where children are made to stack stones only for demons to come and knock them down. And they have to start all over again. The point of this legend is that human effort can disappear in an instant. So Godaiin stacking dice works on 2 levels. On the surface, it shows his demon-like nature, willing to betray kin just to survive. But it also foreshadows his fate. No matter how cunning he is, it all comes crashing down. Let's do a quick side note about Uncle Godaiin's fame, or rather, his lack of it. The anime introduces him with a funny subtitle that says, award for biggest tyrant, 1333. And if you don't know the reference, you might be thinking, wait, what? This is actually a parody of Japanese TV show. You know those comedy contests where the screen first shows the judge's name and then it flips to reveal the voted person's name? It's using that same format to comically announce Godaiin's cruelty. And here's the list of his so-called awards, starting from the left in the anime. Historical importance, Godaiin. Betrayal level, Godaiin. Shamelessness, Godaiin. Inhumanity, Godaiin. Speed of treachery, Godaiin. Cunning, Godaiin. Greed, Godaiin. And finally, name recognition, Nobunaga Oda. Now, Nobunaga Oda is one of the most famous samurai in Japanese history. He's kind of like Japan's Napoleon, maybe, known for being brilliant, rational, and ruthless. Everyone remembers him. Godaiin, on the other hand, doesn't even show up in most history textbooks. Even historical importance goes to Godaiin. This is a joke itself. He mattered only because of his betrayal in 1333. So in the end, he was shameless, greedy, and dishonorable, but still such a small figure. At the climax, Tokiyuki finally defeats Godaiin and cuts off his head. And then he says in his mind like, "Brother, father, citizens of Kamakura, this head isn't enough to avenge you, but at least it will be a souvenir as you cross to the other side." Now in English, the word souvenir usually makes you think of a fun travel gift, right? So hearing it here feels really strange. In Japanese, the original word of souvenir is temiyage. And it's interesting that temiyage isn't just a travel souvenir. It's more like a small gift you bring when visiting someone. And there's this cultural nuance. People often say things like, "It's nothing special, just a little something," when they hand it over. It's not really about the item itself, but about saving face. It's less about the host judging you as rude, and more about the giver feeling awkward or ashamed if they show up with nothing. This feeling of shame is an important point in this story. In medieval Japan, honor and reputation carried on even after death. The Hojo clan was betrayed and destroyed by their retainer, Takauji Ashikaga, right? For the samurai, what mattered most was dying with honor, ideally winning glory, or at least facing death in a proud way. But in this case, they were cut down by their own vassal without even striking back. For them, it was frustrating, humiliating, and hard to accept. They would be shamed in the next world. Many ordinary citizens of Kamakura were also slaughtered in the chaos. And here, Tokiyuki's brother Kunitoki's death feels especially tragic. He wasn't just killed, he was betrayed by his own uncle. For a child of the samurai class, that was not only painful and cruel, but also deeply dishonorable. So Tokiyuki offering Godaiin's head worked as the gift to those who were killed, a way to restore some dignity so that they wouldn't feel ashamed in the afterlife. In this scene, what he's really saying is, "My family and people of Kamakura died, betrayed and dishonored. I can't fully avenge them, but at least I won't let them go to the afterlife empty-handed." The idea of honor ties together the head, the word souvenir, and the journey to the afterlife. Pretty wild, right? And that's episode 2. It was brutal, but also filled with cultural jokes and hidden layers. That's why I love this series. It mixes tragedy with humor in such a unique way. Next time, we'll look at episode 3, A Forest Inhabited by a God. If you enjoyed Princess Mononoke or Spirited Away, you'll definitely want to see this episode. If you had fun with this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. and I'd love to hear from you. What scenes do you want me to explain, or are there other anime series you'd like me to cover? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.